Good morning, Hendrik Berg, Head of Finance and IT of Beiersdorf in Myanmar. Welcome to our chat here, our podcast on the topic How We Do.
Hello, good morning, Martin. Yes, thank you for inviting. I'm looking forward to our short chat here on our podcast.
Yes, thank you. We created the series to understand how companies are actually reacting in this COVID-19 times. So I'm very interested to learn from you. How did Beiersdorf do in these times when COVID-19 arrived here in Myanmar?
Yes, okay. Sure. So biggest challenges, right? Our biggest things that we need to learn. I think if you have not heard or listened to the podcast from Jens Michel, I really advise to do so. So I think what he also started in the beginning, and I would like to quote that basically because we're talking about safety first. So whatever we talk about, it's always about safety for our employees and their families as a first and utmost important responsibility for us as a company, right? So, and then also for me, coming from factory background before as well, of course, safety is always a big issue there. So, but now it also not comes from the production, but it's actually valid for full life. So that being said, safety first in all aspects that are following now. Then biggest challenge here is basically to start also to understand the pandemic itself. So when we look into the world, not only Myanmar, before we come to Myanmar, we can already see and also learn from good examples, bad examples. I think you can see good examples in Korea, how they manage, and you can see not so successful examples in Italy, Spain, or USA, but that always depends also on the current situation, local situation. Also, they partly did not have the chance to learn before. So that's the advantage maybe also of Myanmar, and that it's important to start also to look into how did other countries do. And I think there's a lot to learn. So challenge then to learn from other countries. And then for us as Myanmar, also then looking into the overall situation, looking at a lot of information that you get a lot of information overflow, you get information on the social media, on the traditional media, you get input from the government. So I think there is a lot to digest. And as a manager, then you need to be able to filter what is relevant for you as a business and what is not, and what is maybe correct or not, and you need to evaluate on a daily basis. Now, as a global company, as Beiersdorf, we do have a global network, of course, also, and there's a lot of best practices or examples and also some previous experience that we can learn from. So biggest challenge basically really to understand pandemic itself and then also realize what is actually relevant for Myanmar, right? Myanmar, country with limited resource, healthcare wise, right? Limited testing as well. So even it's a very low number, but need to take with caution, right? Once testing is started, the picture might change, maybe also not. But then also Myanmar is, of course, you need to look at the people. How do the people react? How do families react? So that's another challenge you need to just accept, right? Cultural backgrounds. So if you're from an international company, then families are very different, right? So we had some families, once the first cases appear in Myanmar, they ask their kids to come back from the office. So how do you deal with that, right? And how do you as a company act on such things that come up?
Absolutely. How did you deal with that? Would be my next question. How did you deal with these specific challenges here in Myanmar?
So I think when you look at the healthcare and the overall situation, I think you just need to look into you take the things on a daily basis. And if you look at that families take it serious for the employers, of course, you allow also your employees to go home and take it back. So we intended to keep the office open a bit longer originally, but then it actually changed very fast from one to another day. And I think it's also important to talk to your people. They know what's best for them. So when you talk to the people, they will tell you. And if you ask them, you can work from home, would you take this opportunity? And then you get an overwhelming feedback of most of them will say, oh, if I can work from home, I rather work from home. And then you kind of also start looking into the details of how they are working from home. And that's where I would like to look a bit also today. So what are the challenges now after already being almost 1 month working from home from the company? So the challenges there are basically people are getting lonely. It's new developments every day. The situation is quite unpredictable for employee situation. Right, they are 24/7 at home with their families, with their partners, with their kids. It's also not something that you are normally used to. Then also you don't have physical contacts to your colleagues, and let's also face it, right? Your working colleagues are the people that you are spending most of your time. And then the new way of working from home, of course, you are staying a lot on the phone, as we are doing our podcast today also via internet line. This is not common in every household to have a proper running internet line. And these kind of challenges are coming up when you start working from home, right? And also there, looking at your next question, probably how do you tackle this? But I think then assuming that you have done the basic things, so you have worked with your people, giving them mask, hygiene measures, measure temperature at the building. Now they're all working from home, and you need to see how you're working on this topic. Then I think it's important that you understand that you need to talk to your people. They are individuals and they have their own understanding. So we tackle, for example, that we have our morning calls, right? With 30 minutes morning call. I have also in my team, every team has it in our company. Also the management have a short morning call where we briefly update. And then also let them talk, right? Many times I'm coming into my call and they are all Myanmar people. Then they talk Myanmar language and they're just a feeling that they just want to talk. So I just let them talk for 5 minutes with each other and they see each other on the video camera. And that's how you can get them some feeling of engagement, of connection, at least once a day, even if it's just short. Internet access itself, you need to ensure that there is. So in the beginning, when they started working from home, we also gave them internet access. We said, if you don't have fast internet, the company will pay the installation fee and you can charge us back. And then later, after COVID crisis finished, we might take it away, or maybe also might not, right? I think how the future will look, that's a bit still open, but for the moment, right, we make sure that whatever they need to be able to work from home, they will get, right? So, and at home, it's not all the same, right? So people living in different environments, there's a lot of family around, a lot of kids. So I think it's about getting the engagement and keep it up, keep the energy up, right? So we have photo competition. Some teams are cooking together for lunch. We have coffee talk. Sometimes people even make small concerts, just to coming up with new ideas, coming up with new ways of talking to each other and new way of interacting, right? So I think the engagement is the key factor, especially after 1 month. Then you can sense, right, that it's energy level going down. So you need to come up with new ideas.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We make the same experience here. We are also in home office structures, so very important to maintain a good communication with your staff. So Hendrik, thank you very much as a vice president of the German Myanmar Business Chamber, which you are. Do you have any lessons learned or greetings to your fellow members of the German Myanmar Business Chamber? Last words.
Yes, last words. So I think learnings, right, is embrace the change, right? So there's change every day. It will keep upcoming. And this is, I think, what we have to accept. And then to our fellow members and all the businesses running there, keep fighting, keep moving forward, try to see the positive things on the daily basis, do good in your company, try to support your employees, talk to them. I think that's the most important, what I learned. And in the end, it's always an individual solution for every company. There's not one solution for all. It will be one solution for my company, will work for because this is my people working there, and it might be different in yours.
Right.
So good luck, and thanks for the opportunity today to join the podcast.
Same to you, Henrik. Thanks for joining me here today. Good luck and best of success to you and your team. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
You. Talk to you soon, Martin.
Yeah, bye-bye.